Hey class, for this project, you are able to complete your linear perspective world building project with either an ink pen, like this Micron pen, or a ballpoint pen. I think it can add some nice flavor to it. You're also welcome to just stick with your graphite if you prefer a pencil. That's great too. We ultimately want to be able to add value to our project and do some shading. So, I can use my pencil and shade as I normally would, right? Just like we would have done in project 2 when we were learning value, right? I can really create the degrees of light and shadow and shade with my drawing tools and really bring this drawing to life, right? I can have a lot of strong contrast by pressing really hard with my pencil and building up my value edges. Right, and really just building my value structure really, really well here, and I can also do lighter values by using a lighter touch or by using one of my harder pencils here, really, right? And really thinking about where my light source is coming from. So in my drawing here, or my image here, the light source is mostly coming from the side here. So I have shadows on this side of the couch, highlights on the top of the couch, and then various other midtones and shadows in other areas based on where the light's coming from. You can also, yes, as I mentioned, use one of these Micron ink pens, which can be quite fun. You can begin, they come in different widths. This is a 0.5. I really like the 0.8. I think it's nice and large. I'd probably be better than this one. But for my example here, we'll go ahead and just show it. You can use it to line your drawings very nicely. I typically, what I do is I draw it in pencil very lightly, and then I can come over my line work with my ink pen. And then I can do hatching techniques to add value to my drawing. Using hatching, I can use cross hatching to add additional values here and really build up my value structure using hatching. I can also use a technique called stippling, where I do small dots to build value. But, this is for the, those sort of crazy ones out there that really like to have things be precise and detailed. The stippling does create some very nice, smooth value application. And the stippling is just is a lot of dots. So the more you cluster the dots and the more dense your dots get, the darker the value becomes. The more you spread out your dots, the lighter the values become. You can see how that's developing there. I often use these in different methods. If I want something really smooth and soft, I might use stippling. If I want something with a little bit more texture, I might use the hatching. You could also use a technique called scribble hatching. So let's say I had, like down here in the couch, I have some texture, a little bit more texture. So I could do some like scribbling techniques that as I make my lines more dense and clustered, they get darker. And then as I expand those scribbles or various marks, they get lighter. And that can be really great for organic areas or textures like tree bark, or just something where you want that, rougher emotional tone coming through. Maybe it's a, old brick or stone wall that's marred with texture and use, right? So you're trying to tell the story of that through a rougher texture. So that's our micron ink pen. You can also just use a ballpoint pen, which can be really quite fun too, because a ballpoint pen, you can do both line work, like good strong contour lines similar to the micron pen, but I can also do some shading like I would with a pencil. By lightening my touch a little bit and my pressure, I can actually create some value range. So it almost treats it like, it's almost like hatching, but if I press lighter, I put down less ink, and I can build up some value range through the application of this ballpoint pen. I can do my cross hatching as well if I need to add more value, but I can really do a lot with a ballpoint pen that can be quite fun. So if you want to explore ink strategies, I say go ahead and try it. Otherwise, you can stick with your pencils too. Pencils are great. If you draw with pencil, you can always erase your pencil and then add your ink or your ballpoint pen on top. And that's a great strategy because the pencil helps you get the drawing accurate first, and then you can use ballpoint pen strategies or ink strategies then to refine and add style, add emotion, convey meaning, and then ultimately shade and add value to your drawing. So I hope that helps a little bit and gives you a few extra tools to work with for this project. All right, everybody, take care. I guess one other side note, none of these tools were actually on your supply list. You're welcome to go to a Michael's and buy a pen like this if you want, or if you already have one, you can use it. Or hopefully everybody can just find a black ballpoint pen. I recommend using a black one, not a blue one or a red one. Use a black one so you have those good darks. All right, for real, bye this time.